Good afternoon.
Hello.
How are you today?
Fabulous.
Wonderful.
How are you?
Fabulous. Fabulous. The last 3 days has been filled with so much information for caregivers, and at every conference I learned new things that I had no idea about. New inventions, new ideas, new products. And I'm so excited that you're gonna share Super Patch today. Because as
Hmm.
people have heard during this conference, they hear my commercial for Super Patch.
Hmm.
And I've been involved with Super Patch for many years, thanks to my friend here, Jen Moyer, and
Hmm.
my new friend Jim that I met a couple of months ago. So Jen's
Hmm.
coming to us from Canada, and Jim's coming to us from Florida.
Good
So
afternoon.
good afternoon. So I'm going to turn it over to you, and I will be here if you have any questions. If any questions come in the chat.
Okay.
All
Well,
righty.
we're very excited to be here.
We
Um, Go ahead, Jim.
we are, and there's been like Linda said, so much great information given over the last couple days. It's almost overwhelming the great information that I can't wait to go back and listen to everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why it's
exactly.
good. That's why it's good we have the recordings because it is a little overwhelming.
Yeah, but it's been extremely helpful in a couple situations too. So
Good.
I really appreciate what you do and everything that you do.
Oh, thank
So
you.
Hmm.
Linda, thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
do too. I so appreciate all the information I got from Linda when I was my dad's full-time caregiver. Um, because it's tough. And any little tools that you can use or any little tips that you can pick up along the way sure do help.
Because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And
There's a
how
lot
many
I don't
times,
know.
yeah, how many times do you wish you could go back now that you do know? But
Oh my goodness, I didn't even my mother had stage 4 cancer. I didn't even realize she had dementia until after she passed away.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So,
Right.
All right,
so
you've got the floor.
okay. So I am going to share my screen and share some information about this incredible new technology that is changing lives daily. And I just have to move these little bars out of the way here, and
It,
I'm going to
it sure
minimize.
it sure is changing lives daily while you're getting that set up. I'm just honored to have this technology like you're about to show, just because over the last couple weeks I've been in a full-time caregiver position
Mm.
for a friend of mine whose husband passed, and without this technology, it would be greatly a whole different situation for her. So I'll be able to touch on that in a little bit, but
Mhm. Okay. So the Super Patch Company, um, and the reason I title You Have the Power Within You is because super patches are drug free, ingredient free, no chemicals, and it actually, what it does is empower your own body to be its optimal, whatever that is for any one person. So, um, see here. There we go. My name is Jen Moyer, and it is my pleasure to be here today. Um, I met Linda, oh, probably about 6 years ago now, when I was sort of a caregiver to my dad, but he was still independent with a lot of things. I think back in 2017. So my background is I am a personal trainer. I specialize in mobility for seniors. Um, I entered into that area of fitness and wellness in 2014 when both of my parents lost their mobility. And in 1 year, my mother had a stroke. My father developed a foot issue called Charcot foot, which impacted his ability to walk. My son broke his ankle, and my other son shattered his heel. So I had a lot of mobility exposure that year. And that's when I started to look at it and see all the ways that, number one, you can deal with these things, but number two, you can prevent them as well. And my co-host today is Jim Bowles. I met Jim. Well, when did we meet, Jim? Last winter?
March of 23 in Orlando.
Yeah.
I think
Yes, that's
we all
right.
met.
Right. And so, Jim, you go ahead and tell a little bit about yourself and your story.
Right on. Thank you. It's great to be here with everybody today. We like we were saying, we met in Orlando at a conference together. So we met over in Orlando at a conference together, and we all got to talking. And my story is a little bit different. I was a landscaper in Central Florida on the West Coast for 25 years, and mostly the work that I did was in senior development and golf course communities. And over the 25 years that I was there, I became really good friends with a lot of my customers. So over the time, then all of a sudden, not only was I there doing landscape design and upkeep on their flowers and different things that they had in their yards, I ended up grocery shopping and taking care of them and being their caregiver. So everything over these last couple of days has really come into a big reality eye opener. That there's a lot more things that I can do as I'm, caregiving for people. But I did take a fall off of a 12-foot ladder, and I was pretty much at the top of the 12-foot ladder when I fell, and I took a side to the right hand, and I landed on my ear from about 15 feet in the air. So the neck damage that I went through was pretty severe, and my pain had turned into very much like tremor-like, shocking. And this super patch, a friend of mine, Steve, had sent me to check it out. I really didn't believe him, but after a few minutes of having this technology on my skin, my tremors and my shocking, and I'd say 80% of my pain was gone. So it was a life-changing moment when I actually learned about this technology. And over the last year, what we've been doing with it, with friends, other caregivers, their people that they're taking care of, it's just been life-changing.
Sure has. I have hundreds and hundreds of stories where this technology, as simple as it is, to be honest, has changed so many lives. So thanks, Jim. So what we want to talk about is, number one, wellness needs of people today. Pain management is a huge need for people. I think it's like 85% of people who go to the doctor are in pain. Cognitive decline, limited mobility, sleep issues, rehab and recovery, all kinds of things, quality of life, basically, and performance needs, because some people, want to get their quality of life back, but there's also people out there that want to optimize things that they are good at today, athletes, more endurance, more strength, more power. And what people have now to choose from, they have drugs, over-the-counter products, surgeries, lifestyle changes, which we all know is very difficult when you need to make a lifestyle change to impact the quality of your life. Ineffective solutions. How many times have people tried different things that maybe their doctor recommends, or they buy over the counter, order online, and they just don't work? People have time commitments, and they just don't have the time to do all the research. This is what Super Patch delivers: drug-free solutions. It's quick and effective, easy to use, non-invasive, so no surgeries, non-reactive, child safe, pregnancy safe, no diet changes, and no lifestyle changes. You will see that you simply peel and stick. It triggers a response in the body, it affects the body, and you feel the difference. This is some of the testing and things that Super Patch Company does to prove the efficacy of the technology. So you can see there in red, that is a brain. The redness is maybe irritation. Green is good. We want it green. And after applying the Super Patch technology, you can see this is a device called a QEEG. So I think a lot of people have heard of an EEG. This is a QEEG, which gets deeper into the brain and measures brain function in all the different areas of the brain. So
And the video,
drug-free. Pardon?
the video that you were just showing, when you watch that and you see that actually happen on a video, like when they're using a reader on the brain or when they're using it, to actually just watch the brain go into that enhanced homeostasis, and then being able to take the patch off and watch it go back to the stressed out environment that we live in. It's just, it's amazing to watch some of those videos.
Yeah, it's incredible. And actually, Jim, I have had what they call a brain map. And that is, you know, a little cap that they put on with little electrodes hooked up. And I had it done by a doctor down there in Florida. And then I applied the technology and they redid it an hour later. And I had a 26% increase in brain function. So, yeah, I'll take it. I will take it.
Right?
So when your brain is functioning better, you know your body is going to function better. So I wanted to show that video.
On average, it covers about 21 square feet. Bigger than a typical door frame. It comprises 15% of your body weight and contains 11 miles of blood vessels. I'm talking about the biggest organ in the human body, your skin. And now, the Super Patch Company is unlocking the superpowers of human skin. Your skin protects you from invaders like germs, helps you regulate your body temperature, and allows you to feel tactile sensations like hot, cold, rough, and soft. In fact, the Nobel Prize was awarded to a couple of doctors who unlocked the secrets of our body's sense of touch and temperature. Imagine you have a tiny team of workers inside your body. When your skin experiences something hot or cold, or something touches your skin, these workers send messages to your brain telling you what's happening. They're called ion channels, and these sensors are the key to a new cutting-edge technology utilized by the Super Patch Company. This elegant and effective technology has gone through clinical studies, and the amazing results have been published in peer-reviewed science journals. And their benefits are game-changing. For example, let's talk about pain. The Freedom Super Patch focuses on pain management. Users of the patch reported a 72% reduction in pain within minutes, and the relief lasts for 24 hours. Here's how this amazing technology works. It's well known that our minds regulate our physiology. The autonomic nervous system and other neural networks, much like computer programs of the mind, control every aspect of our physical lives, from our heart and breathing rates to sleep and pain. But these networks can become dysfunctional or damaged due to factors like illness, stress, injury, or the environment. And when your neural networks stop working optimally, it can affect every aspect of your health. So to utilize these neural pathways, those ion channels, the Super Patch Company has been developing skin stimulation technology for more than 12 years. It's called Haptic Vibrotactile Trigger Technology, or VTT. Each super patch contains very fine ridges that stimulate receptors in your skin. Think of them as braille for the brain. And the unique patterns of these ridges help reboot a specific neural program. When these ridges touch the skin, the stimulation starts instantly correcting those neural programs, essentially rewiring your brain. We're talking about life-changing benefits. For example, more than 50 million Americans have sleep disorders. And according to the National Institute of Health, insufficient sleep is estimated to have a negative annual impact on the U.S. economy of more than $400 billion. Studies have shown that people who wear the REM super patch for 2 weeks fall asleep 48% faster and get almost 25% more sleep at night. Every year, more than 36 million falls are reported among older Americans, and studies show that balance is the most reliable biomarker for longevity. In other words, if you have good balance and stability, the more likely you are to live longer. Studies on the Liberty Super Patch reveal that it can improve balance and stability by more than 30%. This is all done without drugs, electronic stimulation, or therapies. Most importantly, the patches are safe and easy to use. 100% drug and chemical free. No ingredients or supplements, and there are no contraindications or side effects. It's great to be active. It's even better to be proactive. The Super Patch, backed by research, proven by science.
I hope maybe you could get the general idea of how our skin can and does send signals to our brain, whether it be the skin on our hands, it's our whole body. So things like, you know, if I had my eyes closed and somebody put something in my hand, I don't even have to see it to know that that's a pen, okay? Because my skin was able to tell my brain what it is through recognition.
Exactly.
So what we'd like to do is just go through each of the 12 different patches and tell you what the benefits are, and share a few stories about some of the things that we've experienced or people we know and love have experienced with these. So the first is the Liberty Patch. The Liberty Patch helps with balance, stability, strength. You know, 54 million seniors fall. There's 54 million seniors out there in the US, and 13 million fall each year. And this patch, through testing, is proven to reduce the risk of falling by 8 times.
Hey, Jen.
Yeah.
I used to be a tripper. I tripped all the time. If my dog pulled me on the leash, if I was going up a step, and I got hurt a few times.
Mhm.
And I've been on that patch for 4 years. I have not tripped once. And if you go in my closet, you can tell pre-patch shoes and after patch shoes.
Yeah.
Pre-patch is all scuffed up and the other ones look brand new.
Yeah, exactly. And what about your cousin's husband?
Oh my goodness, we're supposed to go on a trip to Egypt, and she said that he wasn't going to be able to come with us because he had an accident a couple of years ago and he was on a walker, and she said it's just going to be too much.
Yeah.
Well, he started wearing the patch, and after 2 months, he was off his walker. After the third month, he was off his cane, and now he's going to Egypt with us.
Now he's going to Egypt. So it's incredible.
Yeah, and just this week, another one of my caregivers sent me a message and said, for the first time in 6 months, I'm not afraid to take a shower because I'm not afraid I'm going to fall.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
the Liberty is the very first technology the company developed, and you know, it's had such an amazing impact. My dad having all of those mobility issues, but one thing was he never fell. So, and then there's the Freedom Patch. That's the one you use, right, Jim?
That's one I use every day. I am using the Liberty Patch. And one of the things that I wanted to just add on to what you guys were saying is when we look at the Liberty Patch for our balance and our, like you said, your strength and our balance, I like to you know, just think of it and remind myself that balance and the strength are the keys to longevity. So for anti-aging, you know that if you have more grip strength, or if you are, you know, grip strength and you have more balance and stability, you're definitely going to live longer. And that's those are two really great things. I think that patch right there just enhances every single patch that we have. But they all can be worn separately. It's just, I think that the Liberty one just really with the homeostasis and everything that we've seen really enhances our optimal brain function, like you said in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
And one of the things that we didn't get to hear on that video is that balance and stability is one of the key indicators of longevity, as you're saying.
Yeah. You know, and I think that that one right there is pretty much we've talked about in every session for the last 3 days about, you know, if you could prevent the fall, you can prevent the call.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to that. So
Yeah.
we all have tons and tons of stories about that, and how it's changing people from walking up and down stairs, from the way that they get in and out of their beds. They feel more comfortable. Like Linda said, her friend is excited to be able to take a shower by herself again. Those things, all those things right there improve quality of life too. Her friend can shower by herself again without falling, you know? So she doesn't have to have somebody watch her in the shower. And as a caregiver, that makes you excited that your person can take a shower and feel more like a person themselves.
Somebody put a message and said it also helped with my inflammation.
Absolutely. You know, as we demonstrate our technology with people like you and I, we do most every day. We demonstrate how the technology does turn on instantly and, you know, and make us stronger instantly. I hear that quite a bit. Like, wow, when you did that, my back didn't hurt, or my knee didn't hurt, and it's
Mhm.
it's pretty heartwarming when you see that every day, when you're changing
Mhm.
lives like that every single day.
Yeah, it sure is. And the Freedom Patch, dealing with pain, I I'm lucky because I don't deal with a whole lot of pain. However, I was helping my son a couple of weeks ago do some painting in his new house and do some cleaning and whatever. And oh, my back was killing me. And it was a great opportunity for me to experience it for myself because I put a Freedom Patch. Now, this is the only patch that you put directly or as close to the pain spot as possible. All of the other patches you can wear anywhere on your body. And I took that Freedom Patch and I put it right in the middle of my back. And within 2 minutes, that pain was gone. And so, it just, when you can experience it yourself personally, it just reaffirms what we do. This is my friend
Absolutely.
Elsa. Yeah, this is my friend Elsa, and she suffers with arthritis in both knees. And when this Freedom Patch was launched, she was very excited to try it on both her knees, and zero pain. So not everybody will experience zero pain immediately because every body is unique. But for the large majority, the company offers a 30-day trial period. So try it for 30 days. If you're not 100% satisfied, then they will give you your money back. So it's always worth a try.
Absolutely. And for as many stories as you and I see with pain, and my own story, there's people talking about, as you guys in my story, quite a bit around, because when I hit the ground, everything got smashed and then everything, was inflamed and in a lot of pain. But I noticed, when I watched the pain video and they talked about how it just kind of turns on, like the code is already inside of us. This is just the
Right.
update. Put it on your skin, Jim, is what he said, and it's going to be the update. It's going to have your parts talk to each other again. And I said,
Right.
well, I said it's worth a shot. And it was like a string of Christmas lights. When that one light went in, they all turned on. And that's kind of, like I say, these codes are already inside of us. So when we put this the update on the skin, it's kind of truly amazing when people get to see it.
Yeah.
So there's a couple other ones that I can't wait to get to.
Yeah.
But,
One analogy that I've heard is, it reboots your network. So it brings your network back online. So if, for example, you have some sort of issue in your body where, things are, signals are not getting through to the body. So say, for example, you want to walk forward, but your feet just aren't moving. And as soon as that patch goes on, it reboots that network and brings it back online. So it truly is incredible. The Victory Patch, one thing I love to see is seniors, which I'm pretty much a senior myself now. So, and they love playing golf. How many people work their whole lives, and once they retire, they have the freedom to do things and play golf. And something happens and they can't play anymore. I love to see when someone tries this technology and it gives them back their life. I got this message from a friend of ours, Teresa, last week. She's asking what helps with inflammation, and the Victory Patch specifically helps with inflammation. And she said that, she had open heart surgery when she was 17 years old. And she always has swelling in her left leg. And she tried a little experiment, and put on a freedom patch and a victory patch. And she was astounded when she woke up the next morning. And you can see the picture on the right-hand side there. Her legs are the same size. And she hasn't had that for a long time.
The
How
victory,
about the defend patch?
the victory patch, to go back to that one now.
Sure.
As we talked earlier, on your two lists, and you had the one for enhanced performance. I have a couple things that I wanted that I've been waiting to share about the victory patch, so I didn't want to skip it.
Yeah.
Because for us, this means a lot. I have a couple people that I've been friends with for many years. I know that they suffer horribly from neuropathy. And one of the proven things that's been written about and published is that the victory patch has enhanced neuropathy relief. And it's also recovery. So the greatest thing is when I've given a couple of my friends the freedom patch, and they put it on right where their pain was, or something like that, it's taken away their pain, and it's been great. And but to see the combination of the two, when you put on that victory patch with the freedom patch, or even by itself, to see the neuropathy just like in their feet just disappear. I was just at a trade show down in Miami last month, and I had a friend of mine who was there, and he really couldn't stand after being there for 3 days. He was having the worst time. And I told him about what we had, and he says, "You know what?" He said, go get me one." And I grabbed him one, and I came back in, and within seconds, he grabbed me by the arm and said, "That is so neat, because my feet instantly changed." He said, "The ball of my foot still has a little bit of, discomfort." He said, "But all the burning, tingling, and everything in his feet went away." So these are just our stories, Jen, that we can share with, bouncing back and forth to each other. But it's like we said, each and every one of these we have a couple hundred stories about. And on the sports issue on this one, we see some of the most amazing things happening with great friends of mine, personal friends of mine down in Tampa, Jay and Jen. They're getting ready for a big bodybuilding competition going on, and they said right now they're usually their weakest moment, because they're doing their cut, and he said he's putting up more weight than he does, and everything's working better than it does on a normal day than when he is doing his cut right now, which I didn't get it in order in my head of what that all meant. But he said when his numbers are putting up 30, 40, 50% more than what he does normally, he said he should not be doing that, and this is the enhancement of his own body doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you. I know we literally could just go on all day long.
But for us as caregivers, we could. But the neuropathy thing is huge with every one of us, because
Jim, I had neuropathy in my feet, and I didn't even know it was called neuropathy. All I knew was that I have degenerative disc in my lower back, and my big toes were completely numb. Like you could hammer them with a hammer and I wouldn't have felt a thing. And with me, my personal experience with it was that once I started wearing the technology, after 3 days, I got the feeling back in my big toes. And, being, somewhat skeptical as I am, and a lot of us are, I had to take the patch off. And sure enough, my toes went numb again, and put the technology back on, and I got the feeling again. And I, to this day, have full feeling in both of my feet, which is hugely important to me because my dad did end up losing a leg. So yeah, the stories are important.
Yeah.
Now the
Really
defend patch helps optimize your immune system. And we have several people who have done what's called a live blood analysis. And so these little circles here, can you see my cursor moving?
I
Yes.
can.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So these little circles here, they're your red blood cells. They should be nice and round. They should be free floating. When they start to stick together, it becomes a problem. It prevents really good circulation and oxygen being um, uh, circulating through your body. And so this is my friend Elsa's live blood analysis. She put a Defend patch on, and 30 minutes, Dr. Tam Kim did another blood sample, and this was the result. Dr. Kim was blown away. And to be honest, she recommends, she now has this product in her protocol for people wanting to improve their blood. So you can see that the red blood cells are uniform. They're free floating. You can see they can free float. They don't get stuck together. Here's another one before the Defend patch. This is 30 minutes later. I actually had a live blood analysis done on me on Monday evening. And one of the things that we really noticed was so you can see this sort of different looking cell right there. That's a white blood cell. And so that's the blood cells that kind of go in and out and through your red blood cells, and they pick up the bacteria. So that's basically your immune system. And one of the big things that was noticed with my blood analysis was that my white cells were bigger and more robust. So that's going to help me. I can't tell you the last time I was sick, to be honest. Jim, anything to say about the Defend?
Oh, I could tell you a couple hundred stories with this one, but I call it my mom patch. I put it on every single day because I want my blood to do that. My mom, when all of us met in October or in March for the first time, is when my mom was there with us, and she saw your friend's blood analysis, and my mom's an RN. So 3 years ago, they put my mom in a high risk category, and she wore the patch for about 3 weeks before she had a carotid Doppler done, and her cardiologist blown away. They even moved her from high risk to a normal category, and her cardiologist said that was the first time she's ever done that in her career. Which for my mom being an RN, I want to say, yeah, they scared her when they said you're high risk, and now you can just see the peace in her face that she knows that her blood every morning when she puts on that patch, that it's running good through her body. So that I put it on. That's my mom patch. I wear it every day. But the funny, my own personal story that I have with that is last month, being spring in Florida, and pollen and everything down here right now, we got a dry season. I was waking up and I was really congested. And I was noticing that every morning when I was changing out my patches, take a shower, I was really congested, come out, put on my patch. Within 5 minutes, everything was gone, cleared up, breathing normal. And I've had that pollen problem my whole life. So it's a real, and I've seen it happen now with a few of my friends, because when they're all congested, I'll just have fun with it and tell them, here, try this out. And a couple minutes later, they're like, wow, that was pretty neat. I'm like, it's pretty neat, isn't it?
Yeah. The thing that I love about these examples is data doesn't lie. It's not just, we have ways to prove how well this technology and these patches work. So especially with the REM.
And anybody that goes to the Super Patch website can see studies by doctors, by professionals. I mean, that's right there.
Exactly. And doctors are not going to put their name on a paper without them being 100% sure that they back it, you know. The REM patch, I don't have a problem sleeping. I like to sleep. I've always liked to sleep, you know. I guess as anyone, there has been an occasion where, you know, I have trouble sleeping or I didn't have a great night's sleep or whatever, but typically I have a pretty good sleep, and I have a Fitbit that tells me how well I've slept the night before. That's kind of one of the first things I do in the morning is check my sleep. How did I sleep? And so a Fitbit gives you a score. And so it's based on a lot of things: how many times you wake up, how long you're in REM sleep, how long you're in deep sleep. It can tell those different things by your breathing, your heart rate. And I typically score between, you know, 80. I've scored to 86 before out of 100. And when I put the REM patch on, I scored 91. So I get up that day and I know I've had a great sleep.
Yeah.
There's another example. You can see on this one, the person before wearing the patch this week scored an 80, or sorry, started with a 77, a 75, a 74, and then put the patch on and scored up to an 80. So anything to add?
Love it. Love
Yeah.
it. I wear it every night. It just
Do
I
you?
notice in the morning when I get up, I am refreshed, and that's
Yeah.
the feeling that a lot of people tell me that they haven't felt in a long time. One of my great friends, who's well, one of my son's employees, she told me that she wore it, and she had never in her life slept like that or felt as good as she felt, and she said it was so strange that she wanted it more and more and more to be able to have that sleep.
Yeah.
And yeah, she suffered from it. But people that, you know, a lot of people, you know, this is us as caregivers. We want our people to repair, and we're trying to help them. So, you know, a lot of body repair happens while we're sleeping. And
Yeah.
this is really, really important. And, you know, it's one of the biggest industries in the world is the sleep industry. And for you to have, you know.
And how much stuff is taken over the counter or prescriptions and you wake up and you feel like you're still asleep?
Yeah.
Oh, horrible.
All day. Yeah, exactly. Now that's one thing that I love about this patch is this is not one of the ones I wear every single night. Now with this patch, ideally you'll put it on, you know, about an hour before bedtime. And when you wake up in the morning, of course, you're going to remove it. The other patches you wear 24/7. But the one thing I love about this patch, I wear every single day. I wear the Victory, I wear the Defend, and I wear the Peace patch, which we haven't gotten to yet. But when I'm like right now, I'm away at somebody else's home, and I want to ensure I get a good sleep. And so that's when these REM patches are very handy to have. I slap one on, and last night I had a score of 90. So
Works.
yeah. And then we get to the Peace patch. Boy, this Peace patch is a lifesaver for me because the last 2 years of my dad's life were very stressful. He had an amputation, and I don't have to tell you all, you know, how stressful it is. And it wasn't until the last couple of years when it got really stressful that I realized that I'm a clencher. I clench my teeth when I get stressed. And I'll notice it now very easily. But I clenched so much and I was so stressed out that in the last 6 months of my dad's life, I actually broke 2 teeth. You know, when I ended up getting them fixed, it cost me $1,000 to get them fixed. And boy, I wish I had this Peace patch before that. I wear this piece patch now every single day because I notice even driving, I'll be driving along and, I would notice my jaw start to clench. And so now, at that point, I would just put a piece patch on and I would stop clenching. But now I just wear this patch every single day because I'm a bit of a stressful, I internalize my stress. So, mhm.
I know how you feel. This is my favorite patch of all.
Is it?
Besides the pain one, because the pain one saved, saved my life. But
Yeah.
The dealing with the daily stress, I drive a lot, like you said, driving.
Mhm.
People are not nice in their vehicles, so
Mhm.
they cut you off, they do different things, but it definitely is life changing to be able to put this on at a time when you are having stress.
Yeah.
I have a really quick fun story about this one, but it's not it's my own fun story. A friend of mine flew into town, and when he flew into town, he received some really stressful news as he
Mhm.
was getting off the airplane, and thought he should just turn around and get on the airplane and fly back right at that moment, but he couldn't, and he was just mid panic attack when I pulled up at the arrivals, and he got in the car, and as we pulled out, he just couldn't breathe. He was just in panic attack, and he's telling me what's going on. And I said, "Let's go stop at the gas station. We'll get you a bottle of water right away." And my mind was, I'm going to get him a peace patch. And as we got out of the car, I went in the back seat. I grabbed the peace patch, and I went to him. I said, "Hey, I got something for you." He goes, "Which one's that?" I said, "Just hang on 1 second." I put it on him, and he looked at me as I walked around the car, and maybe it was 3 seconds, as you're walking away. And he said, "That was outrageous. I felt it from my chin to my chest where my stress went away." And he said, "I
Yeah.
can breathe." He said, instantly he could breathe. And I know that feeling, and that feeling's life changing for people. If you
Mhm.
deal with stress, this is life changing.
Yeah. It's like a calm that comes over you.
Yes. So
Yeah.
now this is part of where I said in the beginning, with us as caregivers. Um, last Thursday night, I received a phone call in the middle of the night, and it was always from somebody that I told me, "If you ever need me, I'm there for you." And we
Mhm.
became really great friends throughout all the years. And she called and said, "The ambulance just took my husband to the hospital. Can you come take me to the hospital?"
Mhm.
And we got to the hospital, and we were there for a while. We were sitting there, and uh, I gave her the peace patch because I could tell that she was stressing.
Yeah.
And I used one of our other patches called the Joy, just for
Mhm.
to keep that happy, not for joy, joy. It wasn't a joyous moment, but to have a good outlook, just
Yeah.
to be calming and to keep a good outlook on the situation.
Yeah.
Which this we use the peace and joy every day through the 5 days that it went from, and all the caregivers that are on the call know that this is how it went: 2 days in the ICU, a day and a half at hospice, and then we were at the funeral home together planning everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
patches, I want
There,
in my heart, they really, by me being her caregiver and saying, "Here, let's try this together." She said every day, she said, "Jimmy, let me have one of your patches." So it
yeah.
definitely, I know
There
how.
are other solutions out there for stress, and the one that comes to my mind right away is the weighted blankets.
Mhm.
It's not very practical to have a weighted blanket on you in your day-to-day life. So that's why these patches are easy to use, and you don't have to make any lifestyle changes.
Right. And when it's the actual code that's already in you to just turn it on.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
90,
So,
I say 95 out of 100 people, or 95% success rate that's been written about, is a really amazing
yeah,
number.
yeah,
Especially,
exactly, exactly. And sometimes, like I like to stress, every body is unique.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I found with the peace patch, when I first tried it, it was about 2 weeks before I really noticed I wasn't clenching anymore. But
Okay.
now, like I say, now I wear it every day. But for a while there, I would catch myself clenching and I would put the peace patch on and it's instant now. So that network was brought back online. It's working. And if I'm not wearing it, it just takes putting that patch on to bring it right back to where it should be. So next
Exactly.
we have the focus patch. I know we are running low on time here and I want to respect everybody's time. So we'll try to get through. We've got about 5 more to get through, but the focus patch is amazing. I love this story about this young girl. She has a difficult time focusing. She's got sensory issues. She always feels anxious. Her parents took her off pharmaceutical medications in 2020 because it was doing more harm to her than they felt the benefits were. And then she tried the focus patch for the first time, came home from school because she was so happy. She felt that it worked. She says, I don't know how they work, but it worked. She was able to focus, feel calmer, wasn't twitchy and anxious in school. And children should not have to deal with those types of feelings and emotions. So that's the focus patch. Joy.
They shouldn't have to deal with drugs.
No,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Because
And
drugs really just mask it, right?
Right.
yeah. And then,
Yeah.
like we were talking earlier, the Liberty patch being like the base patch, I call it the operating system of all of it. Good friend of mine,
Yeah.
his mom is dealing with the Alzheimer's, and every time, Alzheimer's, right? Every time that he goes to her house, he had to reintroduce himself to her, right? So he had to reintroduce him, and since he put the Liberty and the Focus on together for the last year, he said he has not once had to reintroduce himself. She remembers who he is, and that part of the
Really?
brain function. He said it was a real quick result, but that's what we talk about when we're getting synchronized signals.
Yeah.
So
And just real quick, a very, very good friend of mine, her mom, Alzheimer's, and again, as many people, she didn't recognize her, didn't know her name, and the one day my friend Kara went to see her mom, put the patch on her, the technology on her, and a half an hour later, her mom turned and looked at her and said, "Oh, that's a lovely dress you're wearing today, Kara." She was just in tears.
yeah,
So life changing.
like
Joy,
hope and
hope and
happiness.
happiness. Yeah, you're the one who talked me into trying this one, Jim, because I'm typically a pretty upbeat person, but Jim, you recommended I give it a try just so I have my own experience. And, I found that when days were dull and dreary and the sun wasn't shining, I did feel a little down. And I tried the Joy Patch and I found within an hour I was right back to my normal self.
I am so glad that you tried it and that
Yeah.
you got to feel it.
Yeah.
When you come on here and you talk to people about hope and happiness, it's really it's exactly that. And I can only tell you, if you suffer from a little bit of dullness in the day, it sure turns on the light.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. How about kick it?
Love it. Love it.
A lot of people, as soon as kick all of your bad habits, right? People automatically jump to smoking or maybe drinking alcohol or things that you would like to stop or have better control of. But this story is of a young girl who has a hand washing issue, a little OCD issue, and she would wash her hands and they were very dry. They would crack and bleed. And that's what happened when she put the Kick It patch on. She noticed that she wasn't washing her hands as much, that there was a huge difference in her skin.
Yeah. I can say this, I've had a lot of people telling me about the KK patch, and what I notice on is that it works on whatever they're thinking about.
Right.
You know,
Right.
whether you want to stop washing your hands, you want to stop biting your fingernails, smoking and drinking, those are the two ones that everybody went to first. Like, oh, quit
Yeah.
smoking and drinking. And
Yeah.
absolutely. But if you you know, if you're depressed and you're talking to yourself, you know, a little bit down and you don't want to do that no more, put that patch on.
Yeah.
And that's the most important part for like for I think for all caregivers is, you know, to keep a strong sense of hope and happiness and joy. You're talking
Yeah.
bad to yourself, you put that
Yeah.
joy on and that Kick It patch on, and it stops whatever you're thinking about stopping. So
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
people should take a notice to that.
I also
really
read a
big
lot of
notice.
stories. Also read a lot of stories about the Kick It patch and sugar cravings.
Absolutely, sugar.
Mhm.
Put that on probably with your next patch in line, right?
Yeah,
What's
that's
your-
right. Ignite.
Okay.
Deal with calories like never before. So with this technology, this patch, you can burn up to 25% more calories a day based on your metabolic resting rate. So there is actually a calculator online. You put your weight and your age and your gender in there, and it will tell you how many more calories you will burn a day at rest by wearing this technology. So my friend Elsa did the calculations and she was burning, I think, 326 extra calories a day just by wearing the patch, no other changes. So, but I also know, Linda, your cousin Susan was trying to lose some weight. She was dieting. I think she said she was on the carnivore diet, and
Yeah.
she lost about 43 pounds on the diet. So that's a lifestyle change, and that's fabulous. But she plateaued.
Right.
So when plateauing means that you keep dieting, you keep on your diet and regime, but you stop losing the weight. And she added the Ignite patch to her protocol, and over the next 3 months lost another 34 pounds.
Yeah. So it's unbelievable. It's
We
just,
got hundreds of those stories.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it really works.
I'll let you talk about this one, Jim.
The rocket patch.
Yeah.
Rocket patch reclaims your energy, better stamina, more passion. It's a great daily patch to wear. People would think because you know there's a lot of men on there, and for the men it is a blue package. So as we think of it, it is like the little blue pill in a patch.
Right. Right.
As my own example to say it that way. But I've noticed from people talking on the team where they're experiencing life-changing things. Now this is what they're sharing with me, and it's their own stories too. But life-changing things with like veins in their legs and tightness in the legs and actual blood movement. So when I think of wearing something that's going to help, you know, with being a man and reclaiming energy and stamina, you think of blood flow, and that just popped into my head. So I know that we're going to be getting a lot more published results. This is a new patch that came out in February, but I do know that those three things have been written about. That, you know, reclaim your energy, better stamina, more passion, and just
Yeah.
you know,
And through their studies, I'm understanding. So as a woman, I don't get a lot of people talking about this to me. So I thought probably you would have a little bit more information, Jim. But through their studies, they're saying that if you're under 40, you'll feel a difference within 3 days. 40 to 50 years old, 2 weeks, and 50 and over, 3 weeks. So sometimes you got to give it a good amount of time to take effect. But
Yeah, and like you said, we're hearing all kinds of stories. Oh, 2 days, 3 days, great stories that are going on. Put it on this morning. When he came home, he could actually walk because his legs were, like that one really got to me. She's like, my husband wore it for, he's thinking he's, just wearing it to get his passion back. And by the time he came home on a daily, he could barely walk. And this has changed it. So now I think it opened the door for him to wear other patches, is what he was so excited about. But
then we have our other new patch, which is honestly blowing me away. Lumi, glow like never before. It's a natural biophonetic activation. Some people see it instantly. Some people, it takes a little longer. And then I was blown away the other day when my friend Kim, so the top picture here is Kim after wearing the Lumi for 1 month. Now she doesn't have the before even wearing it, but after 1 month, she stuck it out and she wore it for 3.5 months. And look at the difference in her skin for after 3.5 months of wearing this technology.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The pictures are blowing me away lately. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah. And also it has helped with skin issues, rashy, itchy skin, blotchy skin, things like that. Pardon?
Rosacea.
Rosacea. I have a friend that has rosacea, and it was 6 days and her rosacea was actually gone. So anyway, if you'd like to see more stories, read more stories, hear more stories, the Super Patch Company has a testimonial group on Facebook. It's called the Official Super Patch Testimonials Group. There's over 60,000 testimonials in that group. So I encourage you to search the group, join the group, and have fun scrolling through all the stories. Like I say, there is a 30-day money-back guarantee. Try it. That's all I can say. I encourage you to try it. If you want more information, go to sticktoit.info. You'll see the studies on there from doctors, and you'll see write-ups about all the different patches.
Absolutely. And remember this, we are living in a great new age of technology, right? So when you can take a patch, just a little sticker and put it on your body, and you can start to correct your issues just by yourself and putting it on those. It's worth a shot. It's really worth a shot.
Absolutely.
Immediate relief. I know that if I took something over the counter, it's still, I didn't have to like it or stomach it, when I put this on.
No side effects.
I have to put something, I have to wait. But thank you guys so much. It was a great conference.
Thank you, my friends, for being here today, and I'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks, everybody. So this is wraps up our 6th Connecting Caregivers Conference. Our next conference will be November 12th, 13th, and 14th. Please email me with any suggestions, with any comments about the conference. We always love to hear from you. Go to my website, lindaburhans.com, and nominate a caregiver. Everybody deserves a nomination. And go to the YouTube channel, Connecting Caregivers Radio. Remember, I'm here for you all the time. If you need anything, you can email me at lindaburhans@aol.com. I am so grateful to all our sponsors that make this conference free.